Hello, everyone. I'm Rajesh Singh. It is my great pleasure to welcome all of you to today's webinar, which is CFP Certification, your blueprint for career success in financial planning. We are delighted to have such a diverse and enthusiastic audience joining us today. And it is truly inspiring to see so many of you eager to learn, share, and grow. I would like to begin by thanking TechSguru for this platform and Repro team for their support in making this event possible. A special welcome goes out to our distinguished speaker, Ms. Teena Rawal, who have graciously agreed to share her time and expertise with us. In today's session, we will be exploring the blueprint for career success in financial planning and how CFP certification can help, and what is the role of certified financial planner. This is an area of immense relevance and importance, especially in financial service industry, and I'm sure it will spark insightful discussion and ideas. We aim to make this webinar as interactive and keep interactive and engaging as possible. So we encourage you to participate in actively in this webinar. Feel free to share your questions in the chat box if you are attending from YouTube. Insights, of course, and feedback after the webinar through a feedback link or something. Before we dive in the agenda, I would like to remind everyone to be focused during this session so that you are getting whatever we are talking in this session today. And of course, you should also ask question at the end of the webinar. Now, I would like to introduce Teena Rawal, who is our speaker for the today's webinar. Teena Rawal is head of strategic alliances with FPSB India, and she is a management graduate from IMS Indore with over 15 years of extensive experience in marketing and business development. She specializes in financial planning and executing strategies that drives business growth, fostering partnerships, opportunities, and managing stakeholders engagements across India through innovative platforms and initiatives. Her professional journey includes impactful roles at esteemed organizations such as ACCA, the British Council, IMS, the ITM Group of Institution, and the Jaipuria Institute of Management. With over a decade of experience in the education sector, Teena possesses deep insights into the Indian education market and has consistently contributed to its growth and development. Beyond her professional achievements, Teena has been recognized nationally for her exceptional talent in debate uh, and poetry also. She has won 4 national awards in these fields and was honored by former President Pratibha Patil for her remarkable achievement of securing 4 consecutive national victories. Now I would like to invite Ms. Teena Rawal to start the session. Could you please start the session now, Teena?
Thank you so much, Rajesh, for the warm welcome. Thank you, everyone, for joining today. And thank you, team, for organizing this session today. Before we dive into the qualification, how is it relevant for you, and so many things that we have in our buckets for you today, let me briefly introduce our organization, what we do, our qualification, and then we will move forward to the actual agenda of the session. Let me talk about FPSB India first. FPSB India, Financial Planning Standards Board of India, is a fully owned 100% subsidiary of FPSB USA based out in Denver. We are a standard setting body for financial planning across the globe. We are a not-for-profit organization. Along with setting standards, we also own a qualification called Certified Financial Planners, which is the most recognized gold standard qualification in the field of personal finance across the globe. We are present in over 28 countries, territories in the world. When I say territories, it could be a good combination of several countries as well. Along with that, we are also members of some reputed organizations, as you can see on the screen. We are a member of International Organization of Securities Commission. We are also an affiliate member of OECD, which is International Network for Financial Education, and so on and so forth. As I have mentioned, that we are present in several countries. We are a total community of 2,230,000 plus CFP professionals across the globe, which comes into one of the largest growing communities when it comes to professional qualification. In India, we are currently 3,000 plus CFP professionals. And growing very, very rapidly. We will soon be releasing the report for the same as well. Uh, you would be wondering why this is important for you. So, in today's time, the after the most valued proposition that we cherish is time. And after time, if there's anything which is more important to us when it comes to our profession, is the network. And that is why the CFP network that I just mentioned to you, be it the territories, be it the number of CFP professionals that you, if in case you pursue, would be part of, it is going to be immensely helpful in terms of pursuing your career and progressing further. Moving on to the next part. Now let's talk about why we have gathered today. I understand that we have a very good combination of audiences from different walks of life, or different segments and professions in terms of their workings. Many of you might be looking at along with pursuing your qualification, looking at any other professional qualification. Some of you would be pursuing jobs. Some of you would be looking at upskilling yourself, enhance your CV. Some of you would want to probably add more competencies to what you already have. For all of you all, let's talk about why a professional qualification is important. So in all the cases that I have mentioned, and also if I have missed any, in all those cases as well, upskilling ourselves, being relevant in current scenario, is one of the most crucial and important aspects of life. When we do so, we should look at professional qualifications that can enhance us in several ways. For example, professional qualification should always build your competencies. They should give an edge over the others so that you are the preferred choice of the recruiters with a greater package, and also global recognition, and the qualification should also be industry relevant. So all of these reasons, because of all of these reasons, all of you all, we all must should look at upskilling ourselves continuously. And if you're looking at any qualification, you should look for a professional qualification. Now, that said, that we should be looking out for a professional qualification, but there are several professional qualifications that are available in the market, right? And there are several domains in which you can pursue your qualification. But then how do you select in which field we should be going? Many of you might already be working in the field of finance. And so getting additional qualification in the field of finance itself makes the most sense out of it. However, if you are not, and if you are deciding yet, it is very interesting to know that financial planning for past few years has taken a center stage when it comes to different segments of doing jobs and working professionals. There are several reasons to it that we are going to talk about at a later stage, but right now, it is important for us to understand that out of all the working professionals, be it the freshers who are coming out of the qualification, or people who have some years of experience into the industry, for all of them, 95% of the people often choose the, I would say, 10% of the professions which are there available in the market. So if there are, for example, if there are 100 professions that are available, 95% of the people will go to just those 10, very much, I would say, saturated areas of working, and would not want to try and explore the 90% which is remaining. And that is where the opportunity lies. And that is why financial planning education is one such kind of a profession where there's a large gap in demand and supply position. There's very less competition. There are so many opportunities. Right now, we have more jobs as compared to the CFP professionals that we have in India. The salaries are, of course, much higher when it comes to this qualification. And then one of the best, I would say one of the best things along with this qualification comes along is practicing opportunities, wherein you can set up your own practice in India after completing this qualification. So these are some of the reasons why you should be looking at professional qualifications first. Then if you're looking at a professional qualification, why a qualification in financial planning education? And when we talk about financial planning, there's only one certification that is globally recognized in the field of personal finance, and that is Certified Financial Planner. There are so many benefits of doing this certification. I think in the entire presentation throughout, I'm going to talk about the benefits, but some of the benefits that I'm not going to cover later, as I have mentioned here separately. If you are into already, a field of working in a client relationship building domain, then this is one of the amazing, qualifications that you should be going ahead with. It enhances your knowledge and expertise, improves reputation and credibility because of the global acceptance and the global nature of the qualification. There are so many opportunities that are available with NBFCs who are looking for CFP professionals these days. This could give you an edge over joining all of these opportunities and also winning those opportunities. Ethical standards and professionalism is at core of our qualification. And when I explain to you the curriculum or the syllabus of the certification, I will let you know more how. And then working in community engagement, we have an amazing community, very closely knitted community where we ensure and upskill our existing CFP professionals as well through continuous professional development. And we support each other in terms of growing mutually. So it is an amazing, amazing network that you should be joining if in case you pursue this qualification. So these are some of the benefits that we talked about the qualification CFP. Now let's talk about the process as to if in case you are interested and you want to join, what would be the process? Primarily, this is a very elementary process for any of the qualifications. You register, you purchase the curriculum, you study the curriculum, you appear for the exam, you apply for the certification, and you become a CFP professional. It's a designation that you can use, in front of your name for the life, and it gives not just a designation. Along with that, it also gives you a continuous development throughout your professional career. Now, let's talk about a little bit in details in terms of what is the roadmap for this qualification. When we talk about the roadmap, there are 4 E's to the qualification. And with that, we move on to the next slide. Let's talk about the 4 E's which are there. The first one talks about the education. When I say education, it is all the 4 modules that I am going to briefly talk about. All these 4 modules, when you study them, that is the part of the education. Once you have studied them, you appear for all the 4 exams. This is called as examination. Once you have completed all the 4 modules, then comes the experience. So like any other professional qualification, CFP qualification will also require and work experience of 3 years if it is unsupervised, and if it is a supervised work experience, then work experience of 1 year would also suffice. What do you mean by a supervised and unsupervised work experience? If you're working under a CFP professional, that is counted as a supervised work experience. In that case, you only need to gain an experience of 1 year. If it is not under a CFP professional, then you need a 3 year of working experience in the field of financial services, and then you can apply for the CFP certification. But wait, there is the 4th E as well. If you have completed the qualification and gained the experience, then can you apply for the certificate? No. Like I've just mentioned, ethics and professionalism is at core of our qualification. There is a 5 hour small module that is available on your LMS when you join our CFP program. That module is compulsory for you to complete before you apply for the certification. And this module gives you in-depth knowledge of the ethical standards, the professionalism, and the things that are required beyond the qualification to, to do your job in a better manner. So these are the 4 E's of the certification. Now let's talk about those 4 modules. So there are 4 modules to the qualification. The first one talks about integrated financial planning. Second one talks about retirement and tax planning. Third one talks about risk and estate management. And the last one talks about integrated financial planning. Now, you might have noticed that the sequence that is mentioned on the screen is different. However, the way I mentioned it was slightly different. I will let you know why we did that as well just in a moment. But let's go to these are the 4 certification. Let's go to the competencies that this certification are going to add to your profiles. These are some of the competencies that you're going to attain if you're working into, let's say, asset management, risk management, retirement planning, estate planning, financial planning, tax planning, financial management. All of these competencies will be acquired once you have completed this qualification. So After the competencies, let's dive deeper into the course curriculum. These are the 4 certifications that we just saw. The reason why I shuffled is because the first 3 certificate, the specialist certificates, can be taken in any sequence. So if you want to pursue risk and estate planning first, you can go ahead with that. If you want to do investment planning first, you can do that. You are more confident in retirement and tax planning, you can very well attend that certificate first. So you got a flexibility in terms of you can complete these certification, the first 3 in any sequence. Once you have completed all 3, then you go to the 4th level, which is CFP certification. It has got 2 aspects to it. One is the final CFP exam and a detailed financial plan that's need to be submitted. Now, how do we do this? There are 2 ways to study. We still remain on the same slide, Rajesh. Thank you. So, either you can study on your own, which is self-paced, or you can join one of our education providers, authorized education providers, and opt through the instructor-led learnings. We have 21 authorized education providers across the country. If you want self-paced, you can go ahead with that. If you want a instructor-led, you can go ahead with our AEPs. The course content is provided by us. You are provided with an LMS access. The detailed courses provided there. The exams, everything you can then manage from there itself, booking and everything. The first 3 specialist certificate exams are conducted every month. The last 2, CFP exam and the financial plan, are conducted every alternate months. Now, we will tell you more in our next slide about how the exams are conducted. But before that, it is important that we see the entry routes to this qualification. So there are 2 kind of entry routes to this qualification. One is regular pathway, another one is fast track pathway. Fast track pathway is for people who already have gained experience and have certain qualifications which are required to enter, which I will talk about in my next slide. But for regular pathway, the minimum eligibility criteria to start this qualification is 12th. Once you have cleared your 12th, you can start the qualification. However, when you are completing the qualification and when you are applying for the certificate, you must be a graduate. That is because this qualification is a postgraduate level qualification and is recognized in different countries as a postgraduate level qualification, including India. That is why you can start this qualification after completing your 12th, but when you are applying for the final certification, you must be a graduate. This is the regular pathway. In this pathway, you will have to appear for all 4 exams. Let's talk about the fast track pathway now. For fast track pathway, if you have certain qualifications, which we'll be showing you in our next slide, and have 3 years of relevant work experience in the field of financial services, you will be eligible to enter through the fast track route. When you enter through the fast track route, what happens is that the first 3 modules, the exam for those modules is exempted for you because we recognize prior learning that you have already had during your journey of learning as well as your profession. However, the exemption from study is not given. So you will have to study all the certificates, but you will be appearing for the exam only for the last level, submitting a financial plan as well as appearing for the final CFP exam. Now let's quickly have a look at what are the eligibility criteria, which are qualifications if you have, you can opt for the fast track pathway. So these are some of the qualifications that are flashing on the screen right now. If you are a CFA or if you're an MBA or PGTM from an AICT approved institution, if you're a CAIIB or if you are a fellow member of Insurance Institute of India, or if you're a chartered accountants enter cleared with 3 years of articleship and so plus BCom, then you are eligible for appearing for a fast track pathway with 3 years of relevant work experience. So these are the 2 entry routes to the qualification. Now, let's move on to the next phase, next part of it, which talks about the exams. So as I have mentioned, for these first 3 modules, the exams are conducted every month. In the first week of the month, the exam window will open where you can book your exams. In the towards the last week, you appear for the exam. How do you appear for the exam? There are 2 ways to appear for this exam. One is Either you can go on any NSE centers that are available in India and appear, or you can do it remotely, proctored, remotely invigilated as well. So both the options are available. Whichever way you are comfortable, at a luxury of sitting at your own place and appearing for the exam in a very monitorized atmosphere, you can do that, or you can do it at any NSE centers. Now, the first three modules primarily are a 2-hour exam, primarily have 75 multiple, I would not say choice question, but task questions, because each question will have a task for you to identify the right answer. So it's a multiple task question, 75 questions, 2 hours, and it will have a global and local flavor to the exam. Let's talk about the last exam. The last exam, which is CFP, that consists of two different, I would say, set of questions. 25 total 50 questions, 3-hour exam, 25 standalone questions, and 25 questions based on a case study. The first 25 standalone questions will be 1 mark each. The questions that are based on a case study will be 3 marks each. This is about the CFP exam. In addition to this, what you will have to do is you will have to submit a detailed financial plan on a case which would be given to you on your LMS system. You will have to prepare a detailed financial plan which would be very extensive to the length of 80 to 100 pages, and you have to submit it to FPSB. And then once you have completed all of these, then you kind of, along with the work experience and the ethics module, apply for the final certification, and then you become a CFP professional. Now, let's move on to the most important part, because of which all of us are here, which is the career opportunities in the field of financial planning and the opportunities for CFP professionals. The beauty of this qualification is that you will find that not many qualifications, especially professional qualifications, especially global professional qualifications, they do provide you with the job opportunities, but not all of them or many of them would have this opportunity wherein you can practice in India. So 50% of our CFP professionals, or somewhere around, would be right now practicing in the country, and they have their own offices. They earn a lot more as compared to what our CFP professionals, while pursuing their jobs, they earn. Though for the job opportunities as well, we have more jobs as compared to the CFP professionals that are there in the market available. And so the opportunities are huge. In terms of the role profiles, let's talk about the role profiles as to what kind of job roles you can get after completing the CFP qualification. So these are all, be it in the risk management or the investment banking or the portfolio management or wealth management, asset management, financial planning management, whether it in a bank or an AMC or a family planning organization, or any NBFC for that matter. CFPs are highly sought after, when it comes to recruiting in all these areas which are flashing on your screen. One more thing that I would want to mention is that on an average, right now, the package that CFP professionals are getting is falling somewhere between 13 to 15. But if we include the senior professional levels, and if we include the practicing CFP professionals, it is way much higher than any other professional qualification. So in terms of the career opportunities, there are a lot of opportunities that are lying for you, waiting for you. What is important and what is needed is for you to register for this qualification, complete this qualification, and be a part of this larger community of CFP professionals in the country and across the globe as well. With that, moving on to the next slide, Rajesh. And that would be all from our end. We have given a very brief details of the qualification to you, so that it is not overburdening and it is not something that is too much for you to grasp in. The idea is to let you know of what is the qualification, how we work in India, how are the exams conducted, what it incurs, and what are all opportunities that are there in the market currently for CFP professionals. We are constantly in touch with the corporates. We have been working very closely with institutions, corporates, and other government bodies as well, to ensure that the awareness in the field of financial planning is increased at a rapid scale. And not just the awareness, but also the need of financial planners across in the country has we have seen a drastic change and improvement in terms of in India. Though abroad it is compulsory for investments that you must have an you must advise a CFP professional before you invest, in any which ways. But then, for example, in USA, in Australia, it is a compulsion to like how we have doctors for our general doctors for our health purposes. Similarly, for our financial health, CFPs are our financial doctors, and in few countries it is mandatory to have that prescription from the financial doctors before you plan on investing anything. The same influence is now coming to our country, and there is a huge potential, and there's a lot of opportunities that are coming in. We are looking for more CFP professionals because the jobs are more, and so looking forward to kind of answering any questions if you have towards the qualification or anything that I have missed on to mentioning in this small session of 30 minutes.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Tina, for talking about FPSB India CFP certification program, the structure and process of registration for the CFP certification program. And obviously, you also discussed about the jobs and practicing opportunity which is there for the CFP professional. So now we should come back to the Q&A session so that we can take the questions, and I will be passing the questions to you. So Love Sharma is asking, thanks Love Sharma for asking the question. He's asking that what is the average salary range for CFP professional in India? So if you can explain about it, it will be really helpful for them.
Sure, Rajesh. Thank you so much, Love. I think very valid question. I briefly touched upon that in the session. The average salary right now is somewhere falling between 13 to 15 lakhs of rupees for a CFP professional. Though the job opportunity starts right after you have completed the qualifications, and when you are, just entering into, be it even for the 3-year work experience that we are talking about, even by that time also for a CFP professional, the job opportunities are available. Um, uh, and the minimum package also is somewhere around 8 lakhs or something. So I think it's a very good qualification for a beginner as well as for a professional who is already working, because then the salaries are further higher. If you would know, I'm not sure if this question would, many more questions would come around it, but let me add to it that the very premium level of, for example, let's talk about banks. The premium banking in any bank would be personal banking, private banking, and the highest salaries that are given in those banks are to those premium banking levels only. And the most relevant qualification for that level is CFP professionals, because that is where you deal with high net worth individuals, with the wealth of these individuals, navigating and helping them in financial planning of the wealth that they have got. So in terms of the salaries, it is at par with any other qualification if you talk about in the similar kind of an industry.
Yeah.
I hope I have answered.
Yes, sure. Thank you so much, Tina, for answering this question. We are getting more questions. So, Sandeep Goyal is asking that CFP being global certification, as you mentioned in your session. So, how will CFP open the doors for the global expansion? If you can give some light on this area.
Very valid question, Sandeep. It certainly gives you global exposure in terms of, like I said, that you can practice in India. And similarly, let's say if you want to, tomorrow, if you want to shift to Australia and practice, you can very well do that. However, there is a bridge course that needs to be done. So what happens, every country will have, though this qualification is of global nature, the regulation and the tax part of it is very much to the relevance to India. And so when you're traveling to any other country, you will have to do that extra module of their local regulations and tax and so on. And once you have done that bridge course, you are very much, eligible to practice in that country. It's there as well. So the global expansion, if you talk about, you decide on a country where you want to go, let's say US, Australia, wherever, depending upon their requirement of modules that you need to do. You complete that, you take a letter of good standing from us, from FPSB India, and you can very much go and work there or practice there, whichever way is CFP professional. So that recognition is there. These kind of doors CFP will certainly open for you, CFP as a qualification.
Thanks, Tina. There is very unique question which has been asked by Ifsita Bishwas. She is asking that there are so many certifications and qualification available in the finance field. What makes the CFP certification unique? And this is something which is unique. So I would like you to answer on this.
You, Rajesh. And I totally agree with you, Ipshita. It's a very it's a perfect question that you have asked. And pardon me for missing out on that piece. I think for the wider audience to know, it is important for you to understand there are so many qualifications available in the market. There are so many certifications, so many professional qualifications. But how do you identify as to which qualification, which designation, is valid, and how should I go about it? And then we'll talk about why CFP in terms of uniqueness of CFP qualification. So like how we have in India, if there is any qualification that is established, it is established by the Act of Parliament. For example, we have CA, CS, CW, and other qualifications. These are designations that are formed by Act of Parliament. Similarly, in USA, we have Senate, who kind of uh, help us in terms of establishing these qualifications. Our qualifications, CFP, and a few more qualifications that you would be knowing of are Senate approved qualifications. For example, CFA, CFP, all of these qualifications are Senate approved qualifications and are designations that can be used lifelong. So one is this, that you see that if it is a designation, if it is formed by their local, whether if it is in, let's say, US, then it is formed by Senate. If it is in UK, then is it formed by Royal Chartered? If it is in India, then is it formed by Act of Parliament, and things and so on and so forth. So that is how you understand the credibility of the qualification. Now, what makes the CFP qualification unique? Some factors which I have already mentioned in the presentation, but let me reiterate on a few of them one more time. The first and foremost is that this is the only qualification, globally recognized qualification in the field of personal finance. That's one. The second thing that I would want to talk to you about is, like I have mentioned, in India, you can not just get an edge over others when it comes to jobs and your progression in your career path, but it also gives you an opportunity to practice in India, and hence the entrepreneurial nature of this qualification makes this qualification more unique. So these are some of the pointers. Also, it's a qualification that can be completed between 12 months to 18 months time duration. There are only 4 modules. We do follow a pass rate of 45 to 50%, which is considerably good when it comes to the pass rates of a professional qualification. So these are some of very unique aspects that CFP qualification brings in the picture. And last but not the least, this qualification is a very, we say, noble profession. So when you are pursuing this qualification, you are not just enhancing your professional career or your personal skills or your personal, I would say, for your managing your personal finances, you can use this qualification, but also, if you're dealing with clients, or if you're giving these information or suggesting to some people, then it's one of the, best qualifications to make changes in people's life in a positive manner. So it's a very noble profession as well. So all of these things make this qualification a very unique proposition. I hope I have answered it.
Yes, definitely, Tina. Thank you so much for answering in well manner. Next question, which I'm going to take, is from Keshav. He's asking that, and it's a very to the point question. So he's asking from where and how he can start studying for the CFP certification. So what will be the process and from where he can start?
Thank you so much, Keshav. We are very happy to know of your interest in the qualification. What you can do is you can visit our website. On our website, there is an option where you can apply, you can register for the qualification. Once you register, you purchase the course from the from your account itself, and the LMS access is given to you. You study again. either ways. Whether you want to pursue it on your own, you can do it. If you want to do instructor led, you can choose any of our authorized education providers. And once you keep studying and then appear for the exam, and that is how you start. So the first and foremost thing, and I would ask Team FPSB India and Team Repro to please put the link of the website where the students can register themselves so that it is easier for them to uh, visit our website. We would also request you to please join us on our social media platforms, because there are so many things that we keep on doing in association with government bodies or in association with strategic partners, corporate things, and so on and so forth, to ensure that you get more exposure and more opportunities in terms of when you are completing and coming us on board with us as our member bodies. So all of that, please keep following us. I think by now team would have already pinned the details on the chat box.
Yeah, thanks, Tina. The next question is from Prachi. She is asking, where do CFP professionals typically work? And can you share some type of organization's name where they are working and where they can get the opportunity to work?
Right. Actually, very valid question. When you talk about this qualification, you name any NBFC and you will find some other safe professional working already there, especially the banks, especially the AMCs, the family houses, the mutual fund houses. All of these organizations are broadly hiring CFP professionals, and many CFP professionals are already working there. In the capacity, in what capacity? We already mentioned the job roles that are there right now. I think Rajesh, you can again go back quickly to the slide so that they can have a look at in what all capabilities, in what all possible opportunities, or what all job roles that you can look at when you are appearing or when you are completing your qualification as CFP. So these are some of the job roles that you can look at. Um, Entire NBFC industry is quite wide open and accepting CFP professionals largely. So that is your target audience.
Yeah. Thanks, Tina. The next question is again very interesting question, and it will be really helpful for people at large. So, Priyanka is asking, what does financial education mean, and who is relevant for? Right. So, this question is very relevant for the mass people, and if it will be really great if you can answer this question.
Right. See, of past few, I would say, months, years, there has been a lot of communication around financial education, financial planning, financial awareness, financial literacy, all of them. And, all of these things are different from each other. So, when we talk about financial awareness, just being aware of our finances is enough. When we talk about financial literacy, a very basic things like how do you manage your account, your transactions, and all of that. This is very basic things that will come into financial literacy. When it comes to financial education, you should be educated of the financial products that are available in the market. You should be educated about your financial status, your goals, how your and in terms of your financial situation as to where you are. That would come into financial education. Um, from a person's perspective, when we talk about the qualification per se, then in that terms, financial education will talk about several aspects. It would then cover how to design your goals, how to which products are available in the market, what are the best products, what kind of risk we can take. So all about financial planning and everything that will be coming into the financial education part of it. This is relevant to everybody. Financial education is something, and that's the beauty of this qualification, that if you pursue this qualification, you will be able to help all 140 crores plus people who are available in India right now, who need support, because like I have just mentioned, financial people might be, though the financial literacy rate also is very low in India, But still, let's consider only the broader perspective and the people only from tier 1 and tier 2 cities. Financial literacy is something that people are aware of. They are slightly financially educated as well, but when it comes to planning their finances, there's a huge gap in between, them using the right tools, right ways, and right suggestions. So that's where CFP comes in picture. It is relevant for all of them, wherein you play a major role in terms of help them identify their goals, identify their needs, where they want to reach, identify their current existing financial situation, and accordingly making a detailed financial plan, short term, long term, and the goals also keep changing. So you will be supporting them for quite a long time, in terms of achieving their financial success and financial stability.
Yeah, thanks, Tina. The next question which I'm going to take is from Sandeep Goel. He's asking two questions. So one is the FPSP conducts education classes or directly, or they can go through the authorized education providers. The second part of this question is, can CFP professional charge a fee from the client without being RIA?
Okay, so the first one talks about, do we conduct education classes directly? Okay, Sandeep, we are a qualification awarding body, and because we are a qualification awarding body, we cannot teach. So, for example, you must have seen AICTE, UGC, all of them are qualification awarding body, and it's a conflict of interest. So that is why we have authorized education providers to teach for the qualification. For the next question, CFPs who are practicing for preparing financial plans, for the advisory, for the consultancy, they do charge the fees. However, what you're clubbing is two different things. When it comes to the products, it is altogether a different story. I'm assuming that since you have mentioned this question, you already know of all the regulations that are there. Everybody has to follow and adhere to the regulators' norms when it comes to that aspect of it.
Right.
I hope I have
Thanks.
answered.
Yeah, definitely, Dina. Thank you. The next question is how CFP is different from the certification from NISM like 10A, 10B. Can you please give us some light on this part also?
Okay. Pankaj, CFP qualification is a designation, and it's a holistic qualification which includes investment planning, retirement planning, tax planning, risk management, estate planning, everything. However, NISM 10A, 10B are specific, and these are not designations, these are not qualifications, these are certifications which are a mandate from SEBI for doing certain jobs in the field of investment.
Great. Great. There is another question from Karan Sharma. He is asking, what is the primary purpose of a CFP professional? What is the purpose?
Very valid, very nice question, Karan, and I'm very happy that you asked. I think Rajesh, we have a wonderful audiences
Definitely. Yeah.
today, because this is the question that not anybody or everybody would ask. So the primary purpose of CFP CFP professionals is to keep clients' interests in the forefront. So, CFP professionals, one thing that we teach in the qualification is that it's not about selling or proposing what you think is right. It's about understanding the client's perspectives, their values, their interests, their risk appetite. Basis that, what is best for the client. Doing that is something that is the primary purpose of CFP professional.
Great. Great. Thank you, Tina. There is one more very good question from the audience. They are asking that why financial planning is important nowadays, because we are living in 2024. So how it is very important nowadays?
Right. So there were times when people never used to talk about their finances, their money, how much, wealth they have. And there were times when people, without doing the proper, I would say, estate planning or, will planning and everything, they would just leave um, their children, or their wealth as well, just just like that and just leave. So those were the times when planning was only happening for, you plan a wedding, or you plan, a trip and all of that. But then financial planning, which is one of the most critical aspects of life, that was neglected for the longest time, Rajesh. And now times are changing, where people are talking freely about their finances. People are thinking of how they can streamline their resources. People even think of, gone are the days when, you used to keep your money in the banks, putting it idle, and not investing or not using that money to earn again for the more money for you. Now
Correct.
there are so many products in the market, be it investment, be it any, talk about SIPs or whatever. um, um, there are several ways in terms of investing money and making money from money. But then again, there is so much misleading that is happening in the market at the same time, that it is extremely extremely important for you to get the guidance from the right person, in order to make sure that your hard-earned money is not going into veins. And that is when CFP professionals come in picture. um, they are certified financial planner professionals. Make sure that they understand your needs, they understand your ideology behind, reaching out to them, and basis your core interests, they would guide you, support you in terms of designing, formulating the best financial plan possible. So that is how financial planning has evolved over the years. Now, people do not hesitate to pay for a right kind of a guidance, because there is a lot of misguiding that is happening on various platforms, be it social media, wherever, where people who are not certified are also giving so much, of information. In the era of information overload, it is extremely important that you kind of consult a CFP professional who has in-depth knowledge of all the aspects put together, not just one vertical of investment planning or retirement planning or so on, but all of it as a whole, and then that person can guide you very well. So coming back to the point, people are becoming vocal, people are becoming more financially aware, people are becoming more conscious in terms of their growth and what they want and what they do not, and hence the need of financial planning. Also, not to forget, India becoming being the fifth largest economy of the world. Come 2025, it would be fourth. Looking at the pace it is growing, with per capita income of Indian, every Indian increasing to a drastic level. With more money comes more responsibility, more financial planning is required, and hence more CFP professionals are required.
Correct. Yeah, thank you so much, Tina, for explaining about the need of financial planning and the importance of financial planning nowadays. Now, there is one more important question which is coming up. Mr. P. Uthya Prakash is asking, recently FPSB India releases their PGPFP program and some other program with some other premium business schools and institutions. So, uh, he is willing to know more about that. What is the comparison between the CFP certification program and those programs, so that he can get more in knowledge about that?
Understood. Thank you so much for asking such a wonderful question. We we have tied up with some of the institutions and co-created a program, be it PGP or be it executive program or be it a master's program. There are several programs that are there in the market. You can have a look at our website as well, where we have mentioned all such programs that we have accredited, and that's where we are working in terms of integrated manner, where the CFP curriculum is integrated into their curriculums, and they are teaching these professionals. If you what for me to guide you, it would be a bit difficult, but it is easier for you to understand if you go through their curriculum, because each program is unique in nature. For example, we have tied up with different IIMs, we have tied up with IIFT, we are working with Sydney, we are working with KJ Somaya in Mumbai, and many other institutions. We are also working with NISM. When it comes to the programs, when it comes to the regulations, we are working very closely with IFSCA, which is the regulator in the gift city, and we are supporting them with providing the right kind of a talent which is required in the gift, considering hundreds of firms already have set up their offices there and a lot more coming. So there is a huge opportunity for all CFP professionals and other finance professionals as well that is being built up in GIFT, whilst the opportunities are being created in our endeavor to make sure that we bridge the gap and we cater to those opportunities. We are creating such programs along with the regular CFP which is going on to make sure that we have a good number of CFP professionals in the coming time so that we can cater to the demands which is rising.
Yeah.
But for you to opt for any program, some program will have finance at the core, some program will have marketing at the core, some program will have leadership at the core. Depending upon what is it that along with CFP you are looking at, you can opt for the program.
Right. There is one more question from the same person. He's asking that can a person can get a job after clearing any one of the four more exam which are there in the CFP certification? Can they continue studying also after getting the job?
All right. So firstly, this entire qualification can be completed between 12 to 18 months time. If you are coming through the fast track route, then it can be completed from 6 months to 8 months time. Now, can get a job if you're already a working professional and you have started CFP qualification, you have done one or two specialist certificates. You can definitely leverage upon that in terms of either your existing or getting a new one. If you are a fresher, then I would suggest that you first complete all four modules at least, if not the experience, and then definitely you can get the opportunity. That is not a challenge. Can we continue studying along with working? Yes, you can definitely continue along with the working. Most of our education providers teach online, and the entire curriculum that we provide also is available on your LMS. So continuing your studies of CFP along with your job is very much possible.
Thanks, Tina. There is one more interesting question because I also saw some newses regarding the same. So recently, FPSB India has launched a practice psychology in practice module. So it will be really great if you can explain a little bit about that module.
Right. See, it's a okay. So I'm very happy that that question is being asked. It's a wonderful program. It's a very small module that can be taken by any of the professionals, be it CFP professionals. Even if you're not a CFP professional, then also you can definitely do this program. Psychology in practice primarily talks about the psychology which is at the core of the qualification. So when you're practicing, it is very and extremely important for you to understand the thought process of the client before providing them with the solutions. Until and unless you align with your client, until and unless you understand the needs and the requirements very clearly, until and unless you read between the lines or even understand the things that are not being said. So the key is into asking the right questions and understanding as to what they exactly want. All of that is important for you to perform your job better. And if you want to perform your job better in terms of upskilling yourself, this is one of the amazing competencies that you can get, when you pursue this qualification, this course, particularly psychology in practice. It is very much available. The registrations are open. You can, register for this program and you can start working.
Great. Thanks,
The fee
Tina.
is also very reasonable.
Yeah, please go on.
No, it's okay. I'm done. Please
Yeah,
carry
so thanks for explaining about the module of psychology in practice. Mr. P. Utyaprakash is very aggressive. I must mention because he's asking now another question. He's asking that how you compare CFA and CFP, both of the programs. So what is your say on this?
See, I wouldn't say that we can compare. Ideally, each qualification is unique in itself. So there is no comparison between the qualification, but there are certain differences which you need to understand in terms of for you to, just be aware of it. So CFP and CFA, both are Senate approved qualification based out in US. How the difference comes into the curriculum and hence the job opportunities and so on and so forth, is because CFA is more of a corporate finance, CFP is more of a personal finance. So if anybody who's looking at making their career towards the corporate finance, CFA is the qualification. If anybody who's looking at making their careers in the field of personal finance, CFP is the qualification. Both are designations, both are, Senate approved qualification, but then there is no comparison per se. Both are in different segments. So you, depending upon which segment you want to pursue, accordingly you can choose the qualification. Rajesh, you're on mute in case if you're talking.
Oh, so we are getting a few more questions, similar questions which you have already answered. So I will request attendees after this session, there will be the recording on YouTube, which will be available there. So you can get the answers from the same recording. Like Pankaj Garg is again asking about the CFP certification, how it is different from NISM 10 and 10B. So you can get more information from that video only. I think, Teena, we are coming towards the end of this session. And thank you so much for becoming the speaker for today's session. And I would also love to thanks the Text Group platform, the Repro team, and all the attendees, of course, to asking so many relevant questions. And thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Rajesh. Thank you, everyone. Wish you all the best in your future endeavors. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thanks, Teena. Thanks, everyone.
थैंक यू सर। मैंने अभी भी जो है ना
Thanks.
ऑफ कर दिया है वहां पे